Today's youth are growing up in a world much different from that of previous generations. The structure and patterns of family life have changed dramatically. A local nonprofit organization has a place where children can stay where they are physically and emotionally safe. We will learn all about them and their fundraiser coming up on Polk Place. Welcome to Polk Place. I'm your host, Lauren Lingell. Joining me in studio, we have Steve Giordano, who is the president and CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of Polk County. Is that right?
That's right, Lauren.
All right. So it's kind of a new phenomenon in the last 6 or so months.
It is. We merged on March 1st from Lakeland Mulberry and Citrus Center, which includes our Winter Haven unit, our Haines City and Lake Wales unit, all came together. We put together a board from representatives from both sides of the county and went out and recruited some new board members. So we are merged and more excited than ever about our chances to serve the youth of Polk County.
Well, fantastic. So 6 months in, what's it looking like? What's on the horizon?
Well, I like to look at it, you know, sometimes I'm asked what surprises you the most, because when you take on something like this, one tends to think about, well, these challenges exist. I think the biggest surprise is how willing the community is to give, how capable the staff is at serving. We have phenomenal staff on both sides of the county that, my goodness, I could use up all our time here just talking about the wonderful things they do and the interest they take in the kids, and there's not a single one of them who is insincere about the mission. I guess the last surprising thing is that when one gives, one tends to get more people to give. I have this story that one of our supporters told me recently, where he had, he's Steve Kalagridis, who's a very good friend of the Boys and Girls Clubs, and he was very helpful in the bartender bash, which I want to say right now was a wild success, thanks to the folks who put it together, our board members and our celebrity bartenders, including Commissioner Martha Santiago and Wesley Barnett, and lots of great folks came together.
Wonderful people, yes.
Yeah, did a great job. And Steve was telling me this story, Steve Kalagridis was telling me this story of when he got together a homework incentive, and the kids who did the best on the homework were going to win $100 gift certificates to, you know, one of the sporting goods stores.
Right.
And so, you know, the kids are excited and they're keeping score, and there's 3 or 4 winners, and Steve takes them to the store with this $100 gift certificate for each of them and says, anything you want. And so now these are kids, I think it's fair to say, do not often get $100 gift certificates to spend at a sporting goods store. And I think as a kid, me getting that, it's just so exciting. And to a kid, the first thing they did is create the shopping list for members of their family. In other words, they said, well, my sister's going to want this, and my mom is going to want that. And you're thinking, oh my goodness, here are kids who need desperately, and here they're given something. And one might think, even if one's not cynical, that these kids are just going to, you know, just use it for themselves. And the very first thought they have is, how can I give to somebody else? And I think that's a magnificent surprise, that the generosity of all who give to us. And I have more stories again than I have time to tell. Those are my biggest surprises.
Wow. You know, it's not uncommon for those who have little or less than the masses to be willing to give so much more. And it really warms my heart, having been a part of the nonprofit atmosphere and culture in Polk County. There are just so many great people, and the people that these nonprofits like yours and others serve, they're great people and so grateful and willing to share whatever they can with anyone else. So I mean, it's fantastic. That wasn't the most eloquent way of saying that, but I think you get my drift.
I do.
And it's to be around that has got to make you just a little bit better of a person.
I don't know about that. I can tell you it makes me humble.
Yeah.
It makes me say, what the heck have I done all my life in
Yeah.
other businesses when I could have been helping a lot more kids? I don't like to miss the opportunity to say that there are 55,000 at-risk kids in Polk County. We serve 2,000 a year. It is our goal over the next 5 years to board myself to reach 10,000 kids, because then we feel like, hey, maybe we can be relevant in sort of just getting a transformational generation to come up and the whole county benefit, because that's what the people who give to us deserve.
Absolutely. So your focus now, obviously, is reaching that goal. How are we going to get there? Is it a fundraising initiative? Is it outreach, or is it a combination?
It is. You know, there are grants that are available. We have a phenomenal grant writing staff that puts these together, so we seek those. But mostly it comes from contributions from regular folks who say, boy, I don't have a lot of money to give, but maybe I can give, you know, $100 here or $250 there. And, you know, for example, we have an event coming up. And it's really one of those confusing events that it doesn't sound like what it is. It is a baseball game honoring the 50th anniversary of Woodstock that's being held over at the Flying Tiger Stadium, the public stadium.
Sounds groovy.
You're too young to know what that means. But anyway, so we have an opportunity, all the proceeds that we get from people who contribute to this game and attend at a club level maybe and bring your employees out, we get to take that money and focus it on something that's very, very important to us. And the importance of this particular timing is it's back to school.
Oh, yes.
So I don't know about you, but you know, back to school for us meant a fresh beginning. You know, even if you were an indifferent student like I was, and you have a fresh start. It's a new book. It's, you know, even if your clothes came from a mail order catalog, which ours did, we started new. We had new clothes and fresh books and loose leaf bonnets. But some of these kids don't really get that, and I think this is important because we focus on the school year and making them better and extending the classroom a little bit till our after school program. But let's think about a little further upstream, okay?
Yeah.
Whereby they don't have a backpack, they don't have the cool sneakers, they don't have new clothes. And rather than getting a fresh start, some of these kids are starting off not feeling part of the team, if you will, and feeling a little bit alienated. And their response to that typically is to, you know, sink within themselves. And the very time that represents a new beginning where, you know, new vistas can be opened up, for many of them, they shut down because they're not ready. So we want to use this fundraiser, and it's on August 17th at Flying Tiger Stadium, the Publix Field, to use that money to go out and buy these kids some neat backpacks and some back-to-school supplies, so that when school starts and they got to face the academic demands that we're going to help with, they can also show up to school feeling, you know what, this is a new start.
I mean, that is something that I think we take for granted so much, that level playing field every year that I was fortunate enough to have, that sometimes other people don't.
As was I, and I love that you said level playing field, because it's not level, but that's sort of what we do, or what we aim to do. We want to be disequilibrators of that inequity and sort of give them a shot. And I like to say that the Boys and Girls Clubs of Polk County are like that protective parent that sees this future out there and says, and protects it.
Right.
And so somebody says, you know, I'm going to get in the way of their future, and they're not going to be good kids. And like the protective parent, we say, you want to mess with their future, you're going to have to get through us.
Right.
We protect them. We're dealers in hope. That's what we do.
I like that. I like that you said that, because that's exactly what it is. Like, there are so many different stories, and it always ends with hope dies last. And as long as you keep that alive, that fire to grow and achieve just keeps on burning strong. But when they're faced with these situations, I can see where it's hard to have that hope.
Well, if everything else goes, we can get there as long as there's hope. You know, as the proverb, you know, where there is no hope, the people perish for a reason. Because once you have hope, then almost anything can be overcome. And some of our kids are losing hope. That's why more than half of our youth no longer believe in the American dream. Well, that is a vacuum of hope. And that's why we're dealers in hope. We have fabulous mentors that are going to show these guys and gals what to do and where to go. And if they're struggling in a particular subject,
Sure.
we're going to help them with that particular subject. We're going to give them some exercise. We're going to serve hot meals this year. We have that expanding east. And so we have a lot of exciting things to restore hope to a group that just needs a little hope and then get out of their way.
I'm really excited for everything that's happening and everything that's going on. I really hope that you meet that goal and those 10,000, correct?
That's our goal in the next 5 years, to reach 10,000 kids.
Students and kids get the opportunity to have a big brother or a protective family behind them.
You bet.
Definitely. So now this baseball game, it's when again?
It is August 17th.
Okay.
Between the hours of 6 and 9. It's celebrating Woodstock, so the team will be wearing Woodstock jerseys, and they're going to auction them off, and we'll get proceeds of that to use to get the kids back to school. We have this one thing where you can get a family of 4 for $250.
Wow.
A family of 4. Let me explain. They cannot afford to do this normally. But just imagine if right before the school year starts, a family of 4 gets to go to the ball game, get a hot dog together, watch the game free of charge, just courtesy of us and our donors. You know, that's one pledge that one can make. And we have a Take Me Out to the Ball Game page on our website, which is bgcpolk.org. And when you click on that, it'll give you one of these options to get a family out for $250, or one of the higher levels, including, you know, air-conditioned clubs with food. That if you purchase that, the proceeds after the tickets go to the Boys and Girls Clubs towards this preschool effort that we're making. So it's going to be just a fun night. We're all going to be there. There'll be music. There'll be a great game, and we'll celebrate our kids on the PA system. So we're looking forward to that, and hope everybody will. Even if you just want to give a little bit of money towards it and don't want to quite do the $250, just text to 50155 Bright Futures, lowercase, and the kids will benefit from that as well.
Fantastic. So do they need to go to your website to do this, or is this something they can call the box office directly? Or?
No, it's only through our website.
Okay.
Yes, which is Boys and Girls Clubs of Polk County. If you just Google it, we come right up. We're the first ones, and there's a little page there it's an orange tab that says Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Click on that and you'll see all those options. But if you don't want to mess with any of that, just want to text BGC Play Ball to 50155. That'll get them the money as well. Fantastic.
Well, I certainly hope that we can get some people out to the ball game and get some kids what they need to get back to school and feeling like they're on with a fresh start and take on the year. So
yeah, the year is tough enough for our kids. Let's start them off feeling optimistic about the future. Let us be those dealers in hope, and with a community like Polk behind us, we can do it.
I think you're right. Thanks for being here, Steve.
Thank you for having me.
The Boys and Girls Clubs of Polk County, along with the Lakeland Flying Tigers, invite you to join them Saturday, August 17th from 6 to 9 p.m. as the Lakeland Tigers will celebrate the 50th anniversary of Woodstock with a great night of baseball to benefit the Boys and Girls Clubs of Polk County. The Flying Tigers will wear special Woodstock-inspired jerseys as they play the Bradenton Marauders. Sponsorship opportunities are available. Publix Field at Joker Marchant Stadium is where it's located at 2301 Lakeland Hills Boulevard in Lakeland. For more information on tickets and sponsorship opportunities, you can look them up on the web at www.bgcpolk.org.